Whether it's lots of low-level behaviors or one big incident, there comes a time when you decide you need to call home. But how do you call a parent with bad news and still gain their trust and support? I'll share some do's and don'ts along with a super helpful parent phone call script that you can use. Now, teachers universally dread calling home for student challenges and issues. And to be fair, parents and kids don't much like it either. Unfortunately, in many cases, this is the first interaction that a parent is having with their child's teacher, and it's tough. To make it go a bit smoother and to make an ally of the parent, here are some do's and don'ts for phone calls home. When there's a behavioral incident, do make sure that the person who is present makes the call. Don't have other staff members like a secretary or even the principal call home. They weren't there, they don't know what happened. And if you were the person there, you can explain the nuances of the situation, answer questions, and have a much more productive conversation. And if you need translation, ask for it, but make sure that you're there for the call. Next, do have a personal conversation, either face-to-face or over the phone. Don't send discipline paperwork home, like behavioral referrals, citations, demerits, detention slips. Even texts and emails can be easily misconstrued and put parents on the defensive. Sending home a written paper trail of how bad their child is makes families feel blamed and judged. And it doesn't encourage family participation or support. It's just not a good foundation on which to build a relationship. Sending negative things in writing can also set up kids for abuse. Out of shame or helplessness, in desperation, sometimes they'll spank or paddle or worse. Phone or face-to-face conversations allow you to immediately answer questions, clarify any concerns, and reassure them that you believe the best about them and their child. Do start the conversation with the positive. Don't just launch into the negative right away. You want to show them that you value who their child is and you don't just see the negative. Do describe actions in a non-judgmental, business-like way. Don't label kids. Stay away from words like defiant, rude, hyper, and so on. Finally, do focus on collaboration. Don't focus on confrontation. Families really are an ally in bringing out the best in students. When we approach them as experts in their own kids, we can work together. Sometimes when I'm faced with a difficult task, scripts and examples can really help. So I have a free parent phone call script in English and in Spanish for you on my website. It was originally given to me by Stephen Smith, who was a PBIS researcher from the University of Oregon. It's just a guide to get you started. It's not meant to be read word for word. So before you make the call, realize that the parent is probably going to be a bit nervous, and they might even be defensive because of previous interactions that they've had with schools. So you want to try to put them at ease. Start by introducing yourself in a friendly manner and then say something positive by sharing their students' strengths. Maybe something like, "Hi, I'm Laura Mooiman. I'm Tanya's math teacher, and I want to start by saying I really appreciate her sense of humor. She gets us all laughing, and she's a reason that first period is one of my favorite classes." Then tell them what happened or what's been happening in a really clear but non-judgmental way. So instead of saying, "Tanya's disrespectful," try, "Tanya often talks when I'm talking," or "when classmates are sharing, and when I ask her to please listen, she often continues talking." Next, share what you've already tried. Maybe you've changed seats, given reminders, or talked with them after class. If the students faced any consequences, especially if they've missed any class time or other part of their school day, tell the parent. Like, say there was a lunch detention, or they missed recess, or they were kept out of an activity. And this is because in most states, kids have a legal right to every part of the educational day, recess and lunch included. So if they're denied access to these things, then parents and guardians should be notified. Then assure the parent or guardian that the issue is successfully resolved and that no action is needed on their part. You might say something like, "Your child was very cooperative and showed a lot of respect and responsibility by working with me to resolve the problem." Finally, you want to enlist their help and support moving forward. Ask them for their advice. They're the expert on their kid. Maybe you'll ask, "What are some ideas you might have to help me support Tanya and get her back on track?" Or, "What might be a suggestion for talking with her? What works best with her?" Then brainstorm ideas together of what to do at school and home that might help. When you wrap up your conversation, it can be a good idea to ask the parent to praise their child for cooperating with you at school. It could sound a little counterintuitive, but you'd rather have the parent get off the phone with you and praise their kid than get off the phone and punish them. Maybe you can say something like, "I'd like to ask for your help in acknowledging her cooperation. Please let her know you're proud of the way she took responsibility." Then, be sure to thank them for taking the time to talk to you. Reiterate what a great kid they have and welcome them to have continued contact. Maybe they can call you or text you or even visit the classroom. By increasing parent contact, you can become collaborative partners in supporting their child. Building relationships with parents and family members is a powerful way to support students in a more meaningful way because you're going to begin to create this community of support. To download a parent phone call script in English and in Spanish, go to the resources page on my website where I'll have it posted for the next few weeks. I regularly change the resources, so be sure to check back frequently. Comment below and let me know what you've found to be helpful when communicating issues and concerns to parents. And if this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with a colleague. Before you leave, hit that subscribe button to join our amazing community of educators who are promoting these positive practices in their schools.